LeBron James out for at least the next 2 games. So won't play Thursday against the Clippers, won't play Friday against the Blazers. Could return Sunday against the Suns, but right now, not looking great. It'll be 3 consecutive games that James will miss after returning for 2 games following that 6-week absence with that ankle injury. Just 7 games to go for a Lakers team that is 9-13 without LeBron this season. And the Lakers right now fighting and clawing to stay out of that play-in tournament. Right now, they're only a game ahead of 7th place, which would put them in that play-in tournament, which was what LeBron James kind of zeroed in on and said he wants no part of, for lack of a better way of putting what he exactly said. Let's bring in Avery Johnson here, the NBA champ. Avery, put yourself in Frank Vogel's shoes here. Bill Ryder said that a source telling him that they're basically leaving this up to LeBron, and he's deciding to shut things down to make sure that he's okay for the playoffs. But what are you thinking if you're the coach?
I totally agree with LeBron, and if that's what Bill is reporting, that's the way they should go. If I'm Frank Vogel and LeBron James, he would not see the basketball court at least by the last 2 games of the regular season. There's no need to rush him back, even though they're playing against one of the best teams on Sunday in the Phoenix Suns. That should not be the targeted date. Play the last game or 2. It's okay if you have to play in the play-in game. That actually, you should be better than any team that you're going to be playing against in the play-in. So I think this could be a very positive, especially from a mental standpoint, if they embrace that's part of the equation of playing in the play-in. But if LeBron James is not 90 to 100% healthy, whether it's the play-in or the first round of the NBA as a 5th seed or 6th seed, it's not going to work anyway. They have to get LeBron James as healthy as he could be going into the playoffs, because if he's not, especially with the way Anthony Davis is playing, it's not going to work anyway.
So it sounds like you think that if you're the Lakers, you shouldn't be scared of a play-in game, even though it could be 2 losses and you're done if you're a 7 seed. Why do you think the Lakers will be okay even if they slip into that tournament? I say play-in game, it's the play-in tournament because it's multiple games.
Yeah, well, the play-in tournament shouldn't scare the Lakers. They're the defending national the NBA champions. And you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You have 2 of the top 5 players in the NBA. And the way they can elevate the rest of the team, you got to get, Dennis Schroeder back healthy, get him back playing well, but it elevates everybody else. I think the bigger problem is what are they going to do in terms of starting Anthony Davis at the 4 position or starting him at 5. My vote would be to start Kuzma at 4, slide Anthony Davis over to the 5 position, bring Drummond off the bench, give Anthony Davis more space and LeBron James more space to operate. Because right now I think things are a little bit stagnated. There's not much room to operate with Drummond on the floor, especially with Anthony Davis not shooting the ball as well.
AD is great. I mean, he led them to a victory last night over the Nuggets, had that huge game-clinching block down the stretch. But, I mean, he came over to the Lakers to play with LeBron James, and he wasn't going to be the guy because LeBron is the guy. How much more pressure is this going to put on Anthony Davis with LeBron, if not out, at least hobbled here down the stretch?
Well, Anthony Davis, he's done this before. He's been the best player on a team. So this is not new territory for him. But, you're doing it in the Laker uniform now. And this is supposed to be basically a test run in the sense that when LeBron James retires, and I know what the Lakers are thinking, they'll still hopefully have Anthony Davis in uniform, that he can lead a team to a championship, being the 1A guy and not the 1B guy. So this is not quite an audition, but this is giving you a sneak peek on what the Lakers would look like moving forward without LeBron James. And Anthony Davis is just not quite himself yet. it's taking him a little bit more time to get in the rhythm. They had him on a minute restriction. Now he's playing north of 30 minutes a game. And when you're in this situation, it just, especially big guys, it just takes them a little bit longer to get back in the rhythm.
Avery, I asked Bill Ryder, what are the Lakers if they don't have LeBron James? And he said, well, they're basically the Pelicans when they had Anthony Davis. They would not be a contender in his mind. Do you agree with that? Do they still have a chance to contend in the West without LeBron James?
Well, the Lakers without LeBron James is 1, 2, 3 Cancun. They're going to arrive in Cancun a whole lot sooner because that is the first round exit in whatever format they're going to play and wherever they end up in the seeding process. So they can't beat anybody, especially this year with the way Anthony Davis is playing. And it really hurts the rest of the supporting cast because you're not going to have as many double teams, not as many free looks. It's amazing with LeBron James when he's healthy and Anthony Davis is healthy, how it frees up the other guys and you're playing 4-on-3 and 3 against 2 because those guys require so much attention. But without LeBron James allowing those guys to get free and clear, to get some wide open looks, and also his defense. His defense on and off the ball. You've seen the blocks in transition where he comes out of nowhere and then starts the 5-on-4 fast break. So they would desperately miss LeBron James on both ends of the floor.
Well, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully he can come back after a couple more games off and ramp up to the playoffs as the Lakers try to defend their championship. It's going to be, it seems anyway, a lot harder this season than it was in the bubble. Avery Johnson with us on CBS Sports HQ. LeBron James is going to miss the next 2 games at least. Out for Thursday's game against the Clippers, out for Friday's game in Portland against the Blazers. They haven't ruled him out for Sunday's game against the Suns, but it looks at this point like LeBron James is just trying to get as healthy as he can, whether they have to play in the play-in tournament or not, as healthy as he can once they reach the postseason. But they are very much in danger of falling into that play-in tournament, just a game ahead of 7th place.